Hey friends, it's Christine from Spotted Horse Design Company, and in today's video tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make this fun little wine glass lanyard. Now, as you can see, this lanyard fits a stemmed wine glass as well as a stemless wine glass, and even with this on, it will still sit completely flat on a table or any other flat surface. For reference, these are both considered white wine glasses. So a white wine glass is usually smaller than a red wine glass. Red wine glasses are usually those really big wine glasses. These are just regular white wine glasses. The size of this one at its widest point is 10 inches in circumference, and it is 5 inches from the base all the way up to the top. This one is a little bit smaller. It is 9 inches around at the widest part, and it is about 4 inches. I can't remember what I measured. It wasn't quite as tall as this. I want to say it was about 4.5 inches from the base to the top. So a little bit of difference in between these two wine glasses. I wanted to show you that as well, that I understand not all wine glasses are created equal, but generally you have the white wine camp and then you have the red wine camp. Those are, again, the really big glasses. So we're just going to stick with these white wine glasses, and I would assume that you probably wouldn't want a big old wine goblet hanging around your neck anyways. These are so much easier to have around your neck versus the big ones. You can also see that I've added a tag to this one, so you are free to add a tag or anything decorative here on the front. I left this one just plain as is, but since I do live in wine country and I do make these as gifts quite often, when I want to make them as like a souvenir gift, I will use my, I had these custom made. I'll try to link her shop, remember to link this lady's shop. She's called the Spotted Zebra. She's from Canada actually, but she's got an Etsy shop, and I had these custom made for me a few years ago, and I'm still using them on all of my wine accessories that I gift to people. So I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook to make mine. I do want to say that my tension does tend to be on the loose side, and I have had testers in the past tell me that they've gone up a hook size on my patterns, so you may need to go up a hook size, but I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and a tapestry needle for weaving in ends. I did use a tape measure to check my gauge, so we'll be doing that. And then I don't have the label on here, but this is Lion Brand 24/7 worsted cotton yarn. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is a really great pattern for using up those yarn scraps. So if you just have a bunch of scrappy cotton yarn laying around, this is going to be a really good pattern to use those up, since it only uses just a little bit of yarn. So we're going to start by making 24 chains. Now, once you've got all 24 chains, what we're going to do is we're going to join to the very first chain that we made, but you want to make sure not to twist your chain. So make sure that your chain is nice and flat. You're going to take your very first chain that you made and pop it onto your hook. And then from here, oops, that tail is in my way. From here, you're just going to yarn over and pull through, and now your circle, or now you have a circle, your chain is now attached. So now you're going to chain one, and you're going to turn your circle around, just as if we were turning our work on a regular project. And you're going to work one single crochet in this first chain. And you're just going to work one single crochet in each chain all the way around your circle. So once you've made it all the way around the circle, you should have a total of 24 single crochets. You're going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch to this very first stitch of the round and chain one. So our chain one does not count as a stitch, which means we're going to work directly into this very first stitch that we made our chain out of. we're going to work 2 single crochet stitches. And now we're going to work a single crochet stitch in each of the next 5 stitches. Now we're going to work 2 single crochets in this next stitch. And now we're going to work a single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. Now we're going to work 2 single crochets in this next stitch. And 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. Two single crochets in this next stitch. And now we're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the last 5 stitches of this round. You should have a total of 28 stitches on this second round. And now to complete the round, we're going to join with a slip stitch to this very first stitch. And chain 1. To begin round 3, we're going to work 2 single crochets in this very first stitch. So again, our chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so we're going to work directly into this first stitch where we made our chain 1 out of. And now we're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. Two single crochets in this next stitch here. And now 1 single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. Two single crochets in this next stitch. And 1 single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. Two single crochets in this next stitch. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the last 6 stitches of this round. You should have a total of 32 stitches at the end of this round. And we're just going to complete the round by joining with a slip stitch to this very first stitch and chain 1. So now for the next 7 rounds, you're just going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So your stitch count should be the same. On the next 7 rounds, you should have 32 single crochet stitches in every stitch all the way around for the next 7 rounds. So go ahead and put me on pause. Work these next 7 single crochet rounds, and then I will meet you back here and we'll start the next portion of this pattern together. Welcome back to my wine glass lanyard tutorial. So you should have ended with 32 stitches on each of those 7 crochet rounds that we just did. But before we move on, I just want to measure this really quickly just to make sure that we are on track. This should measure about 3.5 inches across at the widest spot. Remember, we started with only 24 stitches and now we're up to 32. So we're going to measure at the widest. All right, and we are here, I'll zoom in for you, just about at that 3.5 inch mark, so we're looking good there. And then I just like to measure from, measure the length of it as well, the height of it. And we're just not quite to 2.5 inches, but if you're measuring somewhere, you know, just over the 2-inch mark or 2.5 inches, you're doing good. All right, so now we're going to move on to the mesh portion of this lanyard, and we do 3 rounds of the same thing. So I'm going to walk you through the first round. So once you've joined this last round together, you're going to chain 4. And now counting this first stitch that you made the chain 4 out of, you're going to count that as 1, 2, 3. We're going to slip stitch to this third stitch, chain 4, and now we're going to count again, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch to that third stitch, chain 4, and count 1, 2, 3. Make a slip stitch. Sorry, I didn't say that. Make a slip stitch in that third stitch. Chain 4. And we're going to count 1, 2, 3. Make a slip stitch in this third stitch. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to put me on pause, and you're going to continue to repeat this sequence, okay? So you're going to chain 4, count over 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and that third stitch is where you're going to make a slip stitch. And you're just going to continue to repeat this all the way around until you have 2 stitches left at the very end. And I'll meet you back here to finish up this round, and then we'll start the next round together. And once you've made it all the way around and you have just 2 stitches left, we're going to chain 4 one more time. And now instead, we're going to actually just slip stitch to our very first chain 4 space of this round. And now we're going to continue around in the same manner. So you're going to chain 4, slip stitch to the next chain 4 space, chain 4, slip stitch to the next chain 4 space. You're going to continue around like this for 2 more rounds. So you're going to finish up this round, and you might want to use a stitch marker if you feel like you need one. I generally don't, just because it's only 3 rounds. But if you want to mark the beginning, you know, the very first one that you did to help you keep track, you can totally do that. But again, you're going to continue around with this round and then make 1 more round. And then I'll meet you back here. We will, we're going to make the strap together. And welcome back. So once you've completed 3 rounds of this mesh, I did lie before when I said we'd work on the strap. We have 1 more round that we have to do, and then we'll work on the strap. So I have completed my 3 rounds, and I am now going to chain 1. I've already slip stitched. I've joined my 3rd round. We're going to chain 1, and I'm going to kind of move this, move that out of the way a little bit to give me some room. I'm going to work 3 single crochet stitches all in this chain 4 space. And now all we're going to continue to do on this round is we're going to work 3 single crochet stitches in every chain 4 space all the way around. So go ahead and put this video on pause and work those single crochets, again 3 in every chain 4 space, and then I'll meet you back here to finish up that round, and then I promise we will start the strap. And once you've worked those single crochets all the way around, you're going to join with a slip stitch to that very first single crochet that you made. And now from here you're going to just start chaining, and you're going to chain until this part here, your chain reaches approximately 30 inches. I would say anywhere between 28 and 30 inches. So go ahead and pause this video and work again, you know, approximately between 28 and 30 inches. I tend to do pretty much 30 inches. And then I will meet you back here to start the next step of our strap. All right, so I've just measured it. I've got my 30 inches. My chain is 30 inches in length. So now this next part is important. So what I do, you can use a stitch marker. Honestly, a stitch marker would be probably more practical, but this is how I do it. So I fold this in half, okay? And I make sure that this side of my strap is on one of the sides. You know, I'm not folding it like this and it's in the middle. So I'm making sure that the strap is definitely on one of the sides. And then I pinch this together and I find the stitch that is directly across, that's in the middle of this side, okay? Which means it's going to be directly across from this one. I just insert my hook and I leave it here. But again, it probably makes more sense to use a stitch marker, but that's just how I always do it. All right, so this part is very important. You want to make sure that your chain is not twisted at all. So I just go down my chain like this and make sure that you've got no twists in your chain whatsoever. Once you know your chain is completely straight, I just take the loop from my last chain, pop that onto my hook, and I'm going to pull that through. So now it's attached, your strap is attached. Chain 1. And now we're going to the left of the next stitch, to the left of where we joined this. You're going to slip stitch. And now from here, you are going to just make one slip stitch in every chain. You're going to work all the way down your strap, all the way until you get to the very end here. All right, so pause this video. Again, you're working one slip stitch in every chain all the way back down your strap. And then I will meet you back here and we're just gonna finish this up. Now, once you've made it all the way down your strap, you've got a slip stitch in each of those chains. We're going to make one final stitch, and it's going to be to the left of the strap. So right here, we're going to work a slip stitch. And then from here, you can fasten off. Okay, so let's try our I almost said wine glass lanyard on for size. So first I'm going to start with my little stemless wine glass. I actually prefer the stemless wine glasses. That is perfect. Again, it'll sit upright, so if you need to set it down, you can hear that it's there's nothing in the way there. It's not wobbly or anything. It sits perfectly flat. Super cute. I love this color. Actually, this was a really great color choice. So now let's go ahead and try it on our stemmed wine glass. And as you can see, it fits this one just as well. Well, anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and making this wine glass lanyard with me. I hope you had fun making this. This is probably one of my favorite makes, probably in my top 10 favorite crochet makes, just because it works up so quickly and it uses just a little bit of yarn. It's really great as a stash buster, and it's just like a really quick and simple gift to make, or if you need to make a bunch of party favors or something, if you're having a big barbecue over at your house and you want to hand out some party favors, this is a really great idea for that. But anyways, again, thank you for making this with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!